we go. And we are live. Hi, guys. Ben here, Sly the Tank Benjin. I am joined by. We are doing our. We're doing our songs for Ice and Fire. And actually, I didn't even take Dog's notes of muting my own stream. How about that? All right, but we are covering the Martels and the Tyrells. I titled this one "The Sunflower Stream," because it's kind of fitting. You got the suns and the flowers. You got the sunflower stream. So joining me, as always, on this is John St. Baptiste right over there. How you doing, John?
Quite well. Thank you for asking.
Excellent.
Just sitting here and ready to talk about some of my favorite characters.
Definitely. And joining us again for the second second time, our savior from last episode, Dawg, the Dawg Show. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Ben. Glad to be here again for the second time, and glad to see John and Sarah joining us this week as well. So it should be a lot of fun. Great to see the folks in the chat too. Yep. So, glad to be here.
Yes. And our special guest, as Dawg mentioned, we have Sarah. You may know her as the Sassy Sasuke from the chat. She is joined us. Wanted to come on, and she has killed it this episode. She came up with a great list, and she actually helped us out a lot with the pre-stream stuff because we were all kind of failing on actually getting stuff done, and she kept a good foot right in her ass to keep us moving. So thank you, Sarah. How are you doing, huh?
I'm good. Just keeping my feet where they belong on everybody's asses.
Exactly.
And three guys can't do, one girl can.
Right.
That's usually the case.
Obviously.
So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to share this, and away we go on our songs of Ice and Fire.
Wait, first, Ben, there's the question for every week. Same when you ask on...
Oh, yeah. So what's everybody drinking?
I want to see in the chat what people are drinking, too.
Chat, what's everybody drinking? John, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, well, since we're going with the Tyrells and the Martels, I do have some Arbor Gold.
Nice.
This is actually an amazing wine. This is Charles Smith's Kung Fu Girl Riesling. Charles Smith, if you were a music fan, was the producer for Black Flag.
Nice.
He also makes some amazing wine. I'm not a huge Riesling fan, but I like this one a lot. And then I also, for the Dornish, have my Dornish Red. And my personal favorite red wine that is under $20 a bottle. This is Louis Jadot Beaujolais from France. I could live off this stuff, but I would probably die very rapidly.
Nice. How about you, Sarah? What are you drinking tonight?
I didn't have much alcohol in my house, but I'm drinking one of the Game of Thrones themed Ommegang beers.
Nice.
This one is the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, which is a sour blonde ale. And I figured, there's Dornish sour wine, sour blonde ale. That's about as close as I'm going to get. So
nice. And Dawg, still rocking your Mountain Dew?
Oh, yeah, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
As you should be. And I went, because last night I drank way too much of my Guinness in honor of our St. Patty's pre-stream. I'm just going light, and I'm going with some Angry Orchard hard cider tonight. So a little lighter, smoother feel, because I do not need another day like today. So with that said, we're going to start with our songs for Ice and Fire, the Tyrells and the Martels. Our very first person that we went with, none other than the Red Viper himself, the Viper, Oberyn Martell. So I kind of went, and the order we're going today is myself, Dawg, John, then Sarah. So just so you know, it's not a surprise. For my pick for Oberyn, I kind of went with just knocked right on the nose of it. I went with Duality by Slipknot because the opening lyrics are, I put my fingers into my eyes. Yeah, kind of had to just go with it. And the rest of the song lyrically, it actually works really well for it. Slipknot's not easy to understand, but if you like going along with the lyrics, it's like he's a fighter. He, he does what he was doing because he cares so much, and it does kind of fit Oberyn. But the opening line is honestly the main reason why I picked it. So, Doug, you're up next. What's your pick for Oberyn?
All right, so my pick here for Oberyn was "Zombie" by Tool. This is off the 10,000 Days album. I think 2005. I think this came out. There was no way I was not going to make a list this time and not have a Tool song on it. I actually had about 5 Tool songs, and then I finally went with one for Prince Oberyn, which I thought worked out quite well for him. So, I mean, especially the first beginning of the lyrics, and this song is absolutely amazing as well too. I mean, all the instruments, everything that blends beautifully too. And then like hear from the King's Mountain view, hear from the wild dream come through, feast like a sultan I do on treasures of flesh, never few. I was just like, this is like total picture of Oberyn, the first the first few lyrics with it, and then by the time we get to the end of it. There's, stuff about, the dark side and stuff, dabbling in the dark side, things of that nature, and dim my eyes, right? There's so much stuff about dim my eyes in this, right? So, there's quite a bit I thought was quite fitting for Prince Oberyn here.
Nice.
So that's the one I went with.
Perfect. All right, John, you got the next one.
Okay, so I have to say I love Dog's pick here so much. And I was actually since we all got our playlist together so late, I was actually having my supper at this pizza place by my house tonight, and I was checking my stocks on the closing bell with my headphones in, jamming out Tool, and being looked at very strangely by everybody else who was sitting there. So rock on that. Also, I understand your 5 Tool song things, because I for anything that I do having to do with Game of Thrones, I have to have a Queen song. And it was really tough for me to pick which Queen song I would do for this episode, because I'm also doing the episode by episode thing with the show Game of Thrones. And so I picked Flick of the Wrist off Sheer Heart Attack, which for me, my mentality behind this was how Tywin probably felt after he thought about the deal he made with Oberyn. Yeah. If that makes sense to anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Flick of the wrist, it's your death, baby. Throw him a kiss. He'll eat your heart out, and then a stick in your head. It's awesome. If Oberyn had just shut his mouth, he would have won that fight.
He did win the fight. He literally
totally
was. Yeah, but you're right. You're absolutely right. He, wouldn't have died had he just, or if anything, stepped back. You had the spear in his chest. Step back.
Yeah. Just walk away. Just hubris. Hubris
right.
is such a horrible thing.
Right. All right, Sarah.
Okay.
Your pick?
All right. So in the end, I went with "Freak Like Me" by Adina Howard, which any of you that grew up in the '90s, like I did, will know that song as a song that maybe they didn't want to play at the school dance. Because, Oberyn's into his, sexy times. And I was this was my second choice. I really wanted to go with Poison by Belle Biv DeVoe.
Oh, nice.
But I figured somebody else would do it. So I just was like, ooh, I'll do this song. This song's great. And you never went back to it on the playlist. So, take your pick which one you prefer. But either one works.
Right. And so, as we do in chat, as we said, always with chat, let us know who's you like, who made you laugh, who you agree with more. So kind of throw it up in the chat. Ben, Dog, Sarah or John, whoever, which one. And then as you're doing that, we have, as always, a list from OTDA. He submitted his own playlist, which I did link in the description below as well. But for Oberyn, he went with Another One Bites the Dust from Queen as well, John.
Oh, nice.
You can't go wrong with Queen.
Yeah.
Like, you really can't go wrong with anything by Queen.
No, agreed.
There were, I think I said it on my, when I did my channel thing right after I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. By the way, awesome movie. Definitely check it out if you have not seen it yet.
Oh, yeah.
But
awesome.
I said 90%, what is it? Queen's worst song is better than 90% of other bands' best songs.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have this argument with my father and my whole family because I hands down say Queen is the greatest rock band of all time, and they always say, "Oh no, the Beatles." I'm like, no, I'm sorry. The Beatles are good. The Beatles are fantastic. They're not better than Queen.
Don't make me go off on a like the Beatles are just okay tangent because I will.
And that's
I will just because my father ruined the Beatles for me as a child because he would like quiz me on the songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm 7, I don't give a shit. But
Well, this is a relatively unprofessional stream. I have to ask you, Sarah, Beatles, Stones, or Beach Boys?
Oh, I don't know. They all just make me sad because they make me think of my father. So I don't know. I probably know. I don't even know. I might technically know more Beach Boys songs. I had a Beach Boys piano book when I was a little kid. But I don't know. I guess I would still go with the Beatles because there's so much variety. But, it depends on the day.
I will say, John, I know you know my answer to that, but technically sound-wise, the Beach Boys are better. Enjoyment-wise, I will give it to the Beatles, early Beatles. I like the pop Beatles way over the Revolution and Revolver and like the psychedelic Beatles. Give me the pop, Help, Hold Your Hand. Give me that Beatles. I'm happy.
Right. And you and I are very different there because, like, I agree with you. Technically, the Beach Boys top. Like, anything Brian Wilson touches is amazing. And
yeah,
Pet Sounds, you and I have both
had
this conversation a million times. It's like, got to be one of the most influential albums of all time.
Absolutely.
Whether you like it or not, influential on music. But I'll take the Stones any day. But you're not as angry as I am.
Yeah, no, I'm not a huge Stones fan personally. I mean, I don't dislike them. I'm just never got hooked. Never got into them. So, all right, Doug, how do you fall on that discussion?
Oh, I love the freaking Beatles. But I love, when things kind of changed around, I think Sgt. Pepper and Revolve. Yeah, I love the Revolver album. That's freaking absolutely amazing album. And, Sgt. Pepper, White, the White Album, and Abbey Road. Abbey Road is probably my favorite album out of all of them.
Abbey Road is a good one. I actually, Magical Mystery Tour, even though I say I'm not the biggest fan of their psychedelic stuff, that's probably my favorite album of theirs.
That one, too. So I have them, and, I love the Stones, too. But, Beatles are my favorite, not my favorite band, but you're close, right? So then, I would have the Stones just a bit above the Beach Boys, right? I mean, Beach Boys are great too. I mean, Good Vibrations, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd imagine John likes the Beach Boys because they have a song called "Sloop John B."
Oh, yeah,
nice.
Well, I just love that song for. Yeah, it's a great song for a number of reasons.
Right. So, all right. So we're going to move on to our next character.
Before that, I do have to say, Sarah, I do like your original pick because one of the best lines in pop music of all time is "Never trust a big butt and a smile."
It's my theme song. It's when I tell all my first dates.
Well, speaking of big butts and a smile, we're going Areo Hotah.
That's not very nice. He's got neither of those.
That was a gorgeous segue.
Look at that grin. That's a smug looking grin right there. You just gotta look beyond the sternness.
And he's got a bigger head than I do.
Right.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Know.
I think
and
he was
looks
well
nothing like in the book.
Well,
but,
yeah, I think he was well cast show wise.
Yeah, he was still a beast of a man. So
exactly, you know, quiet, reserved. But that kind of goes fitting into my pick for him. I kind of went old school. You know me. I kind of tried to do like some random old draws from classics, and I went "Standing on Guard" by the Falcons. I've never really heard it. I was kind of just looking for, you know, standing guard song, like just put the title in, and it's an old school 50s style, almost Motown feel to it, and it's really cool. Just a cool vibe, and I could see him, you know, standing there with, like, if he was in a time with like an AirPod or something, I could see him holding that axe, just standing there, kind of chilling, standing on guard, you know, just got kind of sway into it. So, all right, Dog, your pick is.
And my pick here was "You're No Good" by Van Halen off the Van Halen 2 album, and I'm specifically going with the Van Halen version. And I do love the Linda Ronstadt version as well. However, this one sounds a little more like a smartass, right? You know, it's got David Lee Roth going at it, right? And you have you know, the great chorus from Van Halen, and they just sound like a bunch of smart aleck kids going, you know, "You're no good, dude." Right. So, and this is kind of an inside joke that maybe I'll only get, right. But pretty much anytime, like, I think, you know, a lot of times when I'm doing streams with Westerosi Ninja, right, and Areo Hotah gets brought up, I always give him some flack about getting taken out like a level 1 noob. Right. So, you know, when he comes in, he's got 1 hit point. Right. So I just thought it was just, you know, this is kind of an inside joke to myself that, you know, you're no good. So yeah, if you hear it, you hear that chorus, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. So,
and I get it, but the problem is show Hotah. Oh, it's so bad because he gets taken out by a toothpick. But the dude, literally in the books, slices a motherfucker in half with his axe.
Mm-hmm.
The gate comes down on this wagon or whatever that he was standing in, and literally one swoop, just right down the middle of a dude. And he's a badass. You know, show wise, yeah, he got bitched out, as Johnny said, he got taken out with a toothpick. I like that line, but it's like, book wise, he's a, you know, pretty cool, chilled guy.
Well, on the show, he's a crumb bum.
Yeah. Agreed. All right, John, it's your pick.
Yeah, Dog. It's very unfortunate, and I think Areo is a large chunk of the reason that people who were initially book people have an issue with that whole season of Game of Thrones is because a character like Areo Hotep, who is so fracking badass in the books, is like Johnny said, taken out by a toothpick. You know, I mean, he's a BMF. Like, he's got it printed on his freaking wallet in the books, and you know, just what they did to that storyline. I'm not going to rant about it. Stop, John.
Yep, go on with your pick.
Oh, okay. So my pick was
I like this one
for dual purposes, and I picked "Glory Love" by Peter Cetera.
One thing I have to explain this one.
Tons and tons and tons of Chicago lately, because I've been on this really big brass thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But in Chicago, I mean, you really, well, Ben, actually, you know, with ska music, you've got tons of brass, but
oh yeah,
every ska band has covered Chicago at least once, and there's a reason for that.
Oh yeah.
But you know, okay, so on the one note, okay, and this is me getting a little tinfoil here, but on the on the first note, you've got like Areo Hotep is all about protecting Doran. Like, he's like, I'm your dude. I'm your right-hand man. I'm always going to be here. I'm always going to take care of you. I'm always going to protect you. If you read the books, and I'm asking you book readers out there, Do you ever get the feeling that before the gout got so bad that Doran has to ride around in a wheelchair, that there was maybe something between them?
No.
Is that why the wife left, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
like that was just
Areo Hotah is married to his ex, though. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not about that. He's about his ex. It's just him.
Well, you
and
can
the
be
ex.
married to your.
They cuddle at night.
Yeah, and I bet Arya is the little spoon, you know. But
this is true.
I have always had that feeling since the first time I read Feast.
That's I mean that's very positive. It's
It's
not out. It's not out of the realm. I'll put it that way. It's not out the realm of possibilities.
So I thought the dualistic concept of that kind of worked for the song. Plus, dude, you've got Karate Kid in the video. Like if nothing else, just watch the video and you've got Karate Kid too.
Good stuff.
Right. Oh yeah, and now I'm actually gonna give a shout because once I read that, because I know the Peter Cetera version, I know it very well, but I'm more familiar with the Newfound Glory version. They did a whole album from the silver screen to the radio, where they remade a bunch of movie soundtracks, and this was on their first. They have two albums of that, and this was on the first one. I listened to that thing all the time, and listening to that version, it's like, oh yeah, and I love the Peter Cetera version, like going back and listening to it. But there's something about the Newfound Glory just adding that little pop punk vibe to it that you know me with that style. It's like, okay, right. yeah.
I didn't even realize there was another version other than the Chicago guys.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend it. It's not. I mean, granted, the original is better, but it's good. It's a good take on it. So, all right, Sarah,
okay.
Pick?
So for Areo Hotah, I just literally did a search of songs with axe in the title.
Yeah.
And then I saw that there was a quiet song called Battle Axe, and I was like, perfect. And that's what I did.
Yep. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to think of the keywords, and sometimes it fits. And so now I do have one honorable mention for Areo Hotah before I get to DA's pick that made me think of it. You Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore by
Areo
Speedwagon. Yeah. When Areo Hotah came up on our drink stream, I named him Areo Speedwagon Hotah, just as a play on it. So I was like,
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Doug.
I just want to say a great pick here, Sarah. This was one of my top 10 albums of all time, and I have Battle Axe in my head right now. And
Dawg and I playing
Slick Black Cadillac is coming right up. So, nice. Yeah, great pick here.
Yeah. And
sorry, man. I'm
pretty sure Dawg and I both somewhere in our houses have this on tape.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I want to say, Chad, if you got any suggestions, I'll start by Smash Mouth, but the Kids Bop version, I like that. But yeah, if you got suggestions, throw them in the chats. We'd love to hear them. And
I saw earlier, Bubba gave a good suggestion.
Yeah,
fooled around and fell in love. That was really good.
That was a good one. Yeah, and then OTDA's list. He has Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and nice. He then started a side chat about. We were saying that now it makes us miss Peaky Blinders as well.
Nice.
Anybody have anything in the chat?
Great
it makes me miss X-Files.
Okay.
Red Right Hand?
Last Joe.
Red Right Hand, yeah. It's in the X-Files soundtrack.
Oh. I need to go back and review that then.
Great album.
All right.
The Kids Bop version. Nice, Chrissy. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Doc. You're good. All right, our next character. We got Doran Martell, brother of Oberyn, prince of Dorne. And my pick for Doran, and actually, I did not know the name of this. I've heard this song so many times in my life. I actually really do like this song. But I typed in, I'm looking like a song about patience, because that's all that Doran is. He's very patient. He's very calculating. and I went with Patience by Guns N' Roses. Never knew that that was the name of this damn song, but I like looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay, let me see. Maybe that's a song I never heard, like a deep cut or something. No, it's a damn well-known song. As soon as I heard the whistle at the very beginning, I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, all right, cool. I actually really like the song. So I was very pleased with finding that and going with that for my pick. All right, Dawg, what's yours?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember that the Lies album. Oh yeah, my pick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for Dorne, I went with the Four Horsemen by Metallica.
Nice.
The Kill 'Em All album. So this is back when Metallica was like absolutely awesome to me. Like, 'cause I'm not a big, into their newer stuff, if you will. But this is like, this is one of those albums where I can just, go through the entire thing, right? But this song is so. All I can say about this is pure badassery. Right, when I think about this song, right, just absolute pure badassery, and then the lyrics fit this quite well, right? I mean, we have the three sand snakes, and we have what's her name, Ellaria. So there's the four horsemen coming, drawing near on leather steeds they ride, right? They've come to take your life, things of that. There was another nice lyric in there about, got it up here. Oh, you have been dying since the day you were born. It has all been planned. The quartet of deliverance rides, a sinner once, a sinner twice. No need for confession now, because now you have got the fight of your life. Then the horsemen are, so check it out if you haven't heard this song. So, and I know they played the song on the Stranger Things season 2. I know that. I knew the song long before Stranger Things was even thought of. Right?
This is another thing that
everybody
Dawg and I
know.
have on tape somewhere in our house. Cassette tape.
Right. So, all right. So I got, before I get to you, John, the chat is blowing up because I'm getting some great ones in here. Owen, I think, has the win. Limp Bizkit, keep rolling. Keep rolling. What? Yeah. Walk by Pantera from DA. That was DA's call out. Swinging by John Anderson from Bubba, but I do like his other one. What did he say? Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by I know the name. It's gonna bug me. John, come on.
I should do.
Reading.
Yes, Reading. Thank you.
Yes,
Reading did it.
Yeah.
I mean, a few people did it, but that's the big one that everybody knows.
Walking on Sunshine from Johnny. Riding Dirty from Chrissy Voldstones. They see me rolling. They hating. Like that. Awesome. He ain't heavy. He's my brother from Bub. I don't know. So awesome. I just wanted to give, because they were like coming through real fast here and they were making me laugh. All right, John, it's your pick now for Doran.
Yeah. So for Doran, I went with Time Is on My Side.
Nice.
The Rolling Stones version, not the original version, by Vanderels, I think.
Okay.
But the Stones version, and if you check out our huge playlist that Sarah was kind enough to put together that conglomerated all of our playlists.
Yes, and I will link that in the chat.
Fracking awesome. I put on the Ed Sullivan Show live recording.
Yeah, you did a live one.
Which I thought was pretty awesome. And Keith Richards looks like a normal human being in it, for one thing, which is kind of cool. Like, he doesn't look like one of our kind, my kind. Never mind, Johnny always calls me a vampire. That's where that joke is going. But, and, Time Is on My Side. Dora Martell, like, especially, once again, Dawg, I know you haven't read the books yet. I mean, he's such a long thinker. He's a chess player, he I don't need to do this right away. I mean, he's not hot-blooded. Revenge is a dish best served cold for any Trekkies out there.
Well, I think this song works for the show as well, because he was pretty much showing like patience work too. I think so. Yeah, great picture, guys.
Awesome. All right, Sarah.
Okay. So for Doran, I wound up choosing Beethoven's Seventh Symphony Movement Number 2, which I think everybody should be familiar with. Not by naming it that way, but when you hear it, you'll be like, oh yeah, of course I've heard this before. So the piece starts out soft with just a string section, and he says it's an allegro movement. It's not a slow movement, but it has a very deliberate feel to it, and it just slowly builds and builds over time. When you get to the middle section, it does change from a minor key to a major key for a bit, but I feel like especially the first portion of the piece really sort of talks about how like deliberate and patient, like Ben was saying, Doran is. I hope everybody goes and listens to the playlist so that they can hear it. And also, I purposely chose a video where the person who uploaded that video also uploaded in the screen the sheet music, so you can follow along if you know how to read music. So
nice.
No, I have to say two things. For one thing, I think this is the one that all of us are in accord on more than anything. More than any other character. I mean, even with Dog's more talking about the external events but still all of us are in accord, like about Doran. And two, my pick for best pick for this week is definitely yours, Sasuke.
Oh, thank you.
Oh no, but I have to admit, of all of Beethoven's work, and I think we've talked about this. I don't dislike Beethoven, but he's not in my top 5 composers.
Oh, my piano teacher would murder you if she wasn't a tiny old lady.
What?
my piano teacher growing up, she would murder you saying that Beethoven isn't your favorite.
No, my piano teacher was a tiny little nun, and she made me mainline Mozart. So I love Mozart and Chopin.
Mozart's amazing. If you want... I recommend reading the book Mozart in Vienna. It's about the last 10 years of his life. It's by Volkmar Braunberens, who has a cool name. And it's maybe out of print, but if you want to borrow it, I will send it to you. It's cool. I had to read it for a class. But
are we going to do like a mail book loaning thing? Because I'll have to loan you a book.
I will send it to you like media mail if I have to. I have the literal book, yeah. It might take 3 weeks because then they charge less for media mail, but whatever. I also
that would be awesome.
A problem with staring at the screen too. But see if it's available, and if not, let me know.
For me, and this is because I don't get me wrong, I enjoy Beethoven, just not my favorite composer of all time.
Listen to his late string quartets, and it might change your mind.
And his ninth is my favorite, but that's just because I'm a church person.
Beethoven's for Elise, right?
Yes, your Elise,
okay. Yeah, that's my favorite because that's the only one I know the name of.
And Moonlight Sonata, and
I do enjoy Beethoven. I just can never tell you what actually.
And everybody knows the Eroica Symphony too, the beginning of the Eroica Symphony.
Probably,
yeah. And everybody knows his ninth.
The symphony, everybody definitely knows, and everybody knows the fifth. And I really like the disco version of the fifth.
Basically, I just like composers once they start going crazy.
Oh, well, he probably went crazy because he was drinking all his wine out of like lead containers. So that's probably why he had all those stomach problems and,
No, that's when I just felt he started getting good.
The rest of them, though, they all went crazy because they all had syphilis,
The Spanish disease, or if you're Spanish, then it was the French disease. And if French, it was the German disease.
All right. So... Not to cut you off. No, you're good. I don't mind.
Sorry, we're going on to classical music.
Yeah, but we're going to roll on. Hence the pun. Roll on because we're done with Doran. To our next character, Mace Tyrell. Because as we said, we're covering the Tyrells and the Martels.
Arbor Gold. A little lighter. All
right, so my pick for the man Mace. We were talking about these guys earlier. Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. Because Mace is just a fool. He's just an idiot. He's just a pompous jackass. He's a nice guy, but he's a fool. And he just sits quietly on the hill while, he watches the world go by, lets his mother, run the show and do whatever and plays his part, but that's pretty much it. Dog?
I'm sorry, I have the Fool on the Hill. I love this song.
Yeah.
Magical Mystery Tour.
Like I said, Magical Mystery is probably my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
My
one I went with is kind of similar, but we're going with Ozzy Osbourne's "Fool Like You" from the Ultimate Sin album. And forgive me, I forgot the year that one came out, but I think that Jakey Lee was guitarist for this one. I love the riff in this one, and just one of my favorite songs on that album as well, right? But some great lyrics that kind of are fitting with Mace here, so you think you know it, you think you know it all, but you don't even have a clue, and control is still in view, for a fool like you. There's another one. Oh yeah, are you just too cool? You're just perfectly cold and you just go, or no, there was another one about being an idiot basically, but I'll find it here. But anyway, that's what I went with. It's a fantastic song, awesome album as well. And yeah. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, is there a reason for the way that you are, or does it just come naturally to have an idiosyncrasy and be a fool like you? So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that one tonight, because that was the basis of why I picked this song, was that particular line. So I wanted to make sure I gave a shout out to that lyric. Yeah, that's my pick.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, very good stuff. By the way, chat, does anybody have any votes for any of these tracks? Like anybody's picks? Or does anybody have their own picks? If anybody's got something to shout out there, please do.
Yeah, go ahead and play along at home.
Ben, did we talk about what OTDA said for Doran or no? Before we move to Mace or no? Just remembering that he gave you a list. Oh, muted.
Oh, damn it. Sorry. Yes, DA did. I did call it out. He put it in the chat. He put out Pantera Walk.
Oh, I just somehow didn't catch that. Sorry about that. Because I saw he also put his pick for Mace in the chat. So I was like, oh, I missed his.
He's been put it in the chat, and I'm just trying to call him out on it. So
okay.
Awesome.
If I might, Pantera Walk. I used that for my season 4 when I did. I'm doing my season by season playlist for Game of Thrones. And season 4, episode 1, that was the track I picked. And literally, please do yourself the favor and go to the last scene when the Hound and Areo walk into the tavern. And the minute the Hound sits down, hit play on the track on Walk.
Okay.
And it'll knock your side. It's not quite as good as the Dark Side of the Rainbow, but it's pretty awesome.
Nice.
Does anybody know what the Dark Side of the Rainbow is?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, pretty much anybody that smoked any kind of medicinal stuff knows about the Dark Side of the Rainbow. But I'll give it credit; it does work. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan because, and in fairness, I like the Wizard of Oz. So
I like the Wizard of Oz.
Overshoot some of those songs. It's like, damn it, even though I love Pink Floyd, it's like.
In fact, I think I've always felt one of my favorite quotes from Stephen King is that I'm not going to repeat it word for word, but the Wizard of Oz is one of the few movies that translated itself from the book perfectly.
I love the
I've not
freaking
thought
Wizard of Oz.
to read the book.
Yeah, I've never read the book.
And worked. because there are books that I love and movies that I love, and I can enjoy them in both medias, but it's very rare that it can be pulled off that well. And The Wizard of Oz is one of the few.
Fair. So what's your pick for Mace, John?
My pick for Mace is Now I Want to Be Your Dog by Iggy and the Stooges. Because I don't think Mace is a fool. I think he's smart enough.
It's all an act?
No, he's smart enough to play the fool. He does it in a very different manner than Pycelle does.
Yeah, no, there's a difference. Pycelle plays the fool. Mace is just, he's been coddled. He's literally, his mother's just done everything for him his entire life. And so he hasn't had to do anything. I'm going to disagree with you on that, John, but I'll let you kind of go with your thoughts. Sorry.
I would love it if Mace is secretly like, just as, plotting as Doran or something. But, we do have the other side of that coin where Olenna's like, yeah, his father just like rode off of a cliff because he wasn't looking where he was going while hawking. So the DNA kind of lends itself towards him being a big dummy, but at the same time you have his daughter Margaery being very cunning. So, Lord Oaf could be.
It's the Simpsons gene, all the males are idiots, all the women are geniuses.
I think Mance knows just how smart his mom is.
Just let her do everything.
And lets her do all the work. And also, he's like, she's probably going to come up with better ideas. And if the shit goes down, I don't get blamed for it.
That's true. But
he still would, though, because he's like the Lord Paramount of that region.
Yeah. So he takes the blame over her mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. But good pick.
In the eyes of the small folk.
Yeah, in the eyes of the small folk.
In the eyes of the movers and shakers, they're going to say it's all Olenna.
But that doesn't. But look at any politics stuff. It doesn't matter who's actually at fault. It's who takes the fall.
Exactly.
And Mace would be the one that takes the fall over Olenna. So, all right, Sasek.
Okay, but John, I would love to see, like, in the books, I would love to see Mace just, like, turn out to be, like, the sneakiest one of all. It would be great.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to, oh, yes. So for Mace, I picked the song Looking at the World Through Rose-Colored Glasses. The version of it that I picked was a 1920s record by Paul Ash and his orchestra. I looked up a bunch of versions of it. I know that if you search just the song title, you'll find a Sinatra version, and I'm like iffy on him. Don't hate me. And I just like this one. It was very 20s. It said it's a foxtrot. It's got a little, it just seems very like show Mace to me, where he's just like like it's for some reason it just like that scene that's only in the show where Mace goes to Bravos and he's like singing. That to me, like, this song goes very well with that sort of personality for him. So, and of course, because it had Rose in the title, so I was like, perfect.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And I just played like 10 seconds of it. I unfortunately was not able to, didn't have time to really go through any of the playlists. But I just played the first 10 seconds. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Just the first 10 seconds. Yep, that's Mace. You can tell just, that pompous kind of, showy mentality. So, all right,
plus,
Chet.
That recording you have has to be off like, I mean, if it's a 1925 recording, it has to be off like a 72, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's off. The image that they put on the video is of an LP, of a vinyl album. So, and it sounds like they're just literally playing it on a turntable. So, it's
that's got to be like a 72.
To that era.
Sorry, DJ nerd and me coming out.
Sorry, I don't use the right terminology all the time.
No, you're good. All right.
No, but like most people are used to 33s who are used to records. Or 45s, but like 72s were.
Oh, the big ones. Got you.
No, the
older
72s
format.
weren't they the small? Oh yeah, Okay, I was thinking something else. Yeah, 45, 72s were the big ones. Yeah. All right.
Probably.
So, yeah, I honestly have no
I
clue.
could get into the whole scientific reason for why they did that, but I won't.
Yeah, that's our.
It wasn't on wax cylinder. It was later than wax cylinder. That's all
Yes.
I know.
So, all right, our next person we're going to be talking about is Loras Tyrell, the Knight of the the Golden Rose Knight. And my pick for him, I don't even remember what I picked for him. I think it was something funny. Let me see before I pull it up. Oh yeah, so going back to John, yours with the Karate Kid. You're the best around by Joe Esposito for Loras Tyrell. Because, yeah, it's totally, you're the best around. Nothing's ever going to keep you down. I always think of the South Park episode where Randy fights at the baseball game. And it's always to that song. And it's the montages to that song. And just think about, but Loras is pretty much, at this point, like book-wise especially, he's like, I'm the best. He's cocky. He's a young Jaime, but he's more gallant than Jaime was, too. At that age, so he looked at it as himself as the best, everything.
Well, and more gallant in both senses of the word, I would say.
Yeah,
like a little more noble, a wee bit.
Oh yeah,
like just a wee bit, but a wee bit more noble.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way: if he had to kill the king for Jaime's reasons, he would make sure everybody knew the reasons why he killed him.
Yeah,
he wouldn't hold that in out of pride or whatever dumb reason Jaime.
Oh no, he'd have to tell the story to the fucking world.
Yeah. So, all right, Dog, your turn.
The OTDA.
OTDA, good pick, yeah.
Yeah, DA with the backdoor man.
Okay. Oh yeah, I went with subdivisions.
And I spelled
in the high school halls, in the shopping malls, conform or be cast out. Subdivisions in the basement bars, in the backs of cars, be cool or be cast out. All right, so yeah, I went with. I was really happy to use a Rush song here, and yeah, Rush is one of my all-time favorite bands. I've seen Rush 9 times in concert, 9 times. So yeah, I mean, drawn like moss, we drift into the city, the timeless old attraction, cruising for the action, lit up like a firefly, just to feel the living night. Oh yeah, right here. Some will sell their dreams for small desire, or lose the race to rats, get caught in ticking traps, or start to dream of somewhere to relax their restless flight. Yeah, that's a beautiful song. I mean, Neil Peart's probably one of the greatest songwriters of all time. I mean, one of the greatest bands of all time. Rush. I was pleased to use them on this list, and yeah, I think the song was absolutely fitting for Loras, I thought.
Absolutely. All right, John?
I went Without You by Motley Crue. Without you in my life, I'd slowly wilt and die, but with you by my side, you're the reason I'm alive. I mean, and I think that pretty much defines his character arc pre and post Renly death.
Yeah. No, well said. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Plus, if you watch this whole playlist, there's a whole Samson element to the video, and A, there's the haircutting motif, but also B, like I think that to an extent, Renly was. Oh, this is going to be probably flamed, but Renly was Loras' Delilah. And if you're a Bible nerd like I am, then you'll get the reference.
But
I
don't know. I mean, I get the reference. I don't know if I fully explain your thought process on that.
He was his great weakness.
See, and I don't think he was.
Fair enough. No, please give your argument.
No, and I'm sorry, and that's the thing. I think Renly actually, especially like book wise, he upped Loras's, stature almost. He made him better. He tried to like, and I guess go more show because we don't really get the interaction in the book. It's all hearsay and speculation kind of thing for the most part. But show wise, you get Renly trying to teach Loras, hey, be kind to Brienne, be kind to Sansa, kind of trying to teach him to be a better person kind of thing. So
I don't mean that. I meant in the sense that he's his weakness.
I got you. Okay. I see what you're saying. So like if he was in like kind of going to the Missandei Grey Worm style thing of he's his fear. He's the, okay.
Yeah. And that once he's gone, like, I mean, why do you think he becomes a religious fanatic? Like, because he has no other identity.
I think you're confused. Loras doesn't become religious fanatic.
Well,
force it on him.
Yeah,
eventually does in the show.
It's forced upon him. No, you're thinking of Lancel.
No. But what I'm saying is, if Loras had that one true love to hold on to,
he still would have been like if it was.
But
down
they imprisoned him.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He had no choice at all.
I don't think he would have been broken.
He might have been stronger and not like so broken down at the end. You mean?
Aye.
Like where he was just crying while they were
Yeah.
Yeah.
He still would have had his inner warrior closer to the surface.
Right.
But, so different in the books. We don't know what's going on with him. So.
And I did like kind of a show book crossover on this one, but
and that's fair. I mean, but I think your song is still apt because without Renly, he struggled for a long time.
Well, he has no identity.
Yeah.
I mean, more than anything that I think defines it without Renly, he really doesn't have an identity. He's like I'm a rich kid from a rich family.
Yeah.
My sister's prettier and she's going to be the queen. My grandma is baddest bitch in Westeros.
And I'm second in line. Book wise, he's second in line to his brother. What's the name?
Garland.
Yeah.
Garland.
But no, Willis. He's third in line. Willis is ahead of him.
Oh, that's right, Willis. I forgot about Willis.
Yeah.
So that's why he took the white.
Third in line usually ends up becoming a priest in the real world, like at least in real world medieval society.
Yeah, true. All right. So we're gonna. Sarah, you got yours?
Okay. So for Loras, I went with the fact that he was, so beautiful and this accomplished knight. And so everybody thought he was songs alone and
hang on. Say that again. You kind of.
Oh, did I turn my head away from my mic? I'll put my mic closer to my face. So I was browsing through, every like my old iPod with basically every piece of music I own on it, and came across "Handsome Devil" by the Smiths, and I'm like, I like it because he's this beautiful man who belongs to Renly at the beginning of the books, and I don't know. And "Handsome Devil" is just a really good song, and everybody should listen to it. So that's what I picked in the end.
Great call. Nothing wrong with that, and I'll have to definitely give it a listen after the stream tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, of the men in the show, Loras does get top 5 for just being pretty. He's just a pretty dude. I'll give him own that. So, all right, our next, My Girl. I want to take back my song. I want to put My Girl by the Temptations for Margaery. Sorry. But I'm not going to go there. We got Margaery Tyrell, and I started off with Kiss from a Rose by Seal, from one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. Not a great movie, but the soundtrack was amazing. Batman Forever, Val Kilmer Batman, still not a bad Batman. A lot of people shit on him.
Great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
I love that soundtrack.
Yeah,
I love it so much.
It had Chili Peppers.
It has Flaming Lips on it.
Yeah.
It has so many good things.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. It had Flaming Lips, it had Seal. I believe it had Chili Peppers on there. It had a couple.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. Can't remember. Sunny Day Real Estate.
Yeah, but yeah, awesome soundtrack. But yeah, it's just by the title, "Kiss from a Rose." She's the Rose Princess, the Rose Queen, and I take a kiss. Yeah. So, all right, Dog.
All right. Yeah, my pick for Margaery Tyrell here, folks, was "All the Girls Love Alice" off of one of the greatest albums of all time, the Golden Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album. I love this is like just one of the perfect rock and roll songs. I think it just got a nice blend of a nice tempo, the tone of it, right, and then it slows down and it just kind of has that feeling of, what looks so great on the outside is not really what's kind of happening on the inside, sort of thing at times, right? There's also there's some lyrics to it that this song has a different meaning really altogether, right? But thinking outside the box here a little bit, but all the young girls loving Alice, I was thinking about the poor people and how much they want her around, right? And things of that nature, right? There's also the reference of basically her death and how's it go? There's a lyric in there about being in the wrong movie or like acting in a movie when you got the wrong part. Basically, that's what I was trying to get at, right? Mm-hmm. And then they talk about the next week later they found you're in another man's bed, kind of thing, right? So it's kind of like she kind of took Sansa's position, sort of thing, right? Moved in, and then it wasn't only till like last Tuesday they found you in the subway dead, right? So it's like, but what an amazing song. If you've never heard that particular song, I would definitely highly recommend checking it out. So sorry, I couldn't remember the lyric in my head.
No, you're definitely good. All right, John.
So I went with Helte Skelter. And I specifically chose, because I love it and I have no idea where else I would share it with people, the Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson cover. Because A, this is an awesome freaking track. Like, it's really good. But B, I mean, it says it right there in the opening. When you get to the bottom, you go back to the top. Like, yeah. Margaery Tyrell is not my favorite character in A Song of Ice and Fire or a Game of Thrones, but she's the one I admire the most.
Yeah, okay. I agree with that. She, especially on this last watch through I've been doing, I forget how good she is at what she does from the very beginning, from the first time we meet her, book or show. She's playing the game from the instant, she hits the screen, and she does it well. She does not miss a step. The only time she, basically gets screwed over is by, it's not even her action whatsoever. It's Cersei, manipulating everything else around her to screw her over.
You win or you die.
Yeah. So, but she does not make a miss. That's the thing. She does not make any missteps. She just ends up being the victim of circumstance.
I want to be the queen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. That's kind of badass.
She tells you right from the beginning.
Yeah. That line. Yeah.
But she goes about it the right way. She doesn't really, she plays the game, but she does it kindly, if that makes sense. She doesn't really fuck anybody over unless it absolutely needs it. She lets her grandma fuck people over, hands down. Yeah. But she keeps her hands clean.
Which once gets back to what Mance does, which is why I think that Mance is a lot smarter than anybody gives him credit for.
Mace, you mean?
Mace?
Yeah. Mace. Sorry.
Yeah,
Mace.
All right. Before we get to yours, Sarah, we're going to go DA's.
Correcting me.
Yeah, DA threw out his pick.
I'm sorry, I've got Arbor Gold and Hornet Red on here. So,
what was DA's pick? Where did it go? I
just saw it before.
Yeah, I got it here. Material Girl. Yeah, Material Girl by Madonna. Kind of. I could see that. And then Bubba threw out Crackling Rose. by
By the way, with
Neil
all-
Diamond.
Will anybody give me appreciation that I even with all the flower references, I did not put one Grateful Dead song in this mix.
Fair.
Because I do love the Grateful Dead, but I wanted to go outside of my box.
Completely fair. All right, Sarah, it's your turn.
Okay, so I went because what I said to the guys when I originally they asked me if I wanted to do this was because I had been doing that in the chat. I wanted to get more like classical music and such in the mix, and so I went with a piece by the King of the Waltz, Johann Strauss II, Rosen auf den Süden, meaning Rose of the South. And it's just a lovely waltz. While it doesn't really portray Margaery's like cunning, scheming side, it does portray how she just comes across as like this beautiful queen. And just floats along in her beautiful dresses in the castle. And, it kind of, whenever I hear a waltz, I just think of like a Once Upon a Dream from like Sleeping Beauty, I think it is. So, although I do know the difference from one waltz to the next, and Strauss wrote a crap load of waltzes. But, I saw the title and I listened to it and it was pretty and it worked. So I went with that because I just, I couldn't narrow it down for her. So I went with challenging myself to make sure she got a classical piece.
All right. Well, Sarah, I got a DA threw out another classical for you.
Okay.
Your opinion on it. He's saying Chopin would be good for Margaery the way she carries herself. Nocturne 9-2.
Oh, I can't think of what that is off the top of my head, but I mean, Chopin.
Got it.
Chopin's the best, regardless. And if you're going to listen to Chopin, you got to listen to it played by Martha Argerich. So
right.
I'll see if she has a recording of it.
All right. And if she does, throw it in my link me to it so I can check it out.
I will try and find it.
Awesome. All right. So our next characters, we got a 3-fer here. We got the Sand Snakes, everybody's favorite.
No, we have a 9-fer.
What's that?
We have a 9-fer.
Isn't it 8-fer?
8-fer.
In the books?
8.5.
I think he has 8 daughters.
I thought he had 7.
There's some little ones. They don't
Was
count.
there 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say 8.5.
Yeah. So book-wise, they're awesome. At least Tyene, Nymeria, and Obara, we meet them. They're really cool. Show, my song fits any one of them perfectly. Stupid Girl by Garbage. Just, I'm sorry. And again, book-wise, they're so cool. They're so fucking cool.
They're
but
much smarter.
Show, and nothing to take away from the actresses. They actually did, watching it back this last time with fresh eyes, trying to be softer on it, they did a good job. They just, it was written badly. It was not the acting. It was very bad. It was all on the writing. And that it's unfortunate. It's not fair to them. They had some stupid lines, but they tried to do their best with it. And they did a good job, especially later on in the later season. They actually did make you have a little emotion for them. And it makes sense because they were all 3 introduced at the same time. And that's hard to do. When you're introducing 3 characters at the same time, it's not really fair. So, Doug, go ahead with yours.
It's just, I love just seeing that Stupid Girl by Garbage, right? And just seeing them 3 and those words on the all in one. Great job, Sarah. Awesome here. But I went with Go to Hell by Alice Cooper. And the beginning lyrics of the song just are just, for criminal acts and violence on the stage, for all of the decent citizens you've enraged, that lyrics in there, right? You'd poison a blind man dog. You'd poison a blind man's dog and steal his cane. You can go to hell, right? I mean, you'd gift wrap a leper and feed him to your Aunt Jane. You can go to hell, right? So you're something that never should have happened. You even make your grandma sick. You can go to hell. So and just real quickly, I want to say I liked Alice Cooper, but this particular song was the one that just drove it home for me. of being an Alice Cooper fan was
Nice.
this particular song, right? Like I'd heard, Under My Wheels and things of that nature, of course, right? But yeah, this was the song that was just like, yeah, I mean, how can you not be a Alice Cooper fan? And after hearing the song, of course, right? So that's what I went with.
Can I do a slight Alice Cooper tangent for one moment?
Sure.
So growing up, when I was in elementary school, a girl I was in class with, her father owned the video store in town, but he also was the drummer for Alice Cooper.
Nice.
So I've been to Dunaway's house, whatever. I don't know. That's about as close to Alice Cooper as I get. So, anyways, I always think of that whenever I see Alice Cooper, though. I automatically think of going to the video store for some reason.
Nice. So we got a couple chat suggestions here. DA with Chain of Fools by Aretha Franklin for Show Snakes. Peter Griffin with Bad Bitches by French Montana. I like that one. And that's it so far. If Chad, you got any others, let us know. All right, John, your pick.
Yeah, and also once again, chat. Let us know like which track you like for. I mean, this isn't a contest. We're just curious which track you think is most definitive. Also, Sarah, I'm not trying to embarrass you here, but right now we're looking at your ceiling.
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
I'm not on the screen, so I don't care.
Oh,
Okay.
I was trying to pay more attention to the chat.
We're dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah, I'm practically him.
No, you're fine. I know you're working with limited.
Yeah, because I'm using my phone tonight. Because my computer, I don't trust it.
Trust me, I know that feeling well. Hence why we're doing.
I think all of us know that feeling well.
Yeah.
Dogs runs all right. Dogs.
So I picked Rise by Public Enemies Limited.
Love it.
More than anything, it's for the chant at the end. Anger is an energy. Anger is an energy. Anger is an energy. And this is more book specific, but even to an extent, it's show applicable. I mean, stand snakes are fucking dumb. Even in the book, like they're cool, but they're dumb. In the show, they're inept and dumb. But that for me, like, kind of embodies them almost, and also the whole like concept of the song, this social oppression concept, or the idea that you think you're socially oppressed and like really know things are a lot worse for a lot more people than you, and you're acting. It kind of makes me think of not my kid, but some of my kid's friends who were like, oh, well, mom won't pay for my iPhone bill this week or this month. And you're like, you little fucking tosser. Like, seriously. Excuse my language, Ben. Sorry.
Dude, I don't give a shit.
I'm using language.
Yeah, I have no idea what our language parameters are here. I already swore early on.
Yeah, we're age restricted, but yeah, if I'm ever on stream and it's not, we're fucked. Because especially if I'm having a couple drinks, no, it ain't happening. Terry T's got a good suggestion. Anything by the Bengals, I think that works.
Yeah, that would work.
That's a good call.
In your room, really, Terry T? You think In Your Room would work?
Well,
which, by the way, I've always wanted to hear a really hardcore industrial band cover. That would be awesome. That'd be so awesome.
I can see that. All right,
like,
Sarah.
Just make it like really creepy. Love it in your room tonight. You're the only one that gets through to me.
Okay.
All right.
Like, just make it all BDSM. Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. But
right.
Dungeon cover. All right.
Yeah, dungeon cover.
That works. Dungeon remix. So what I wound up picking was, I wasn't sure what I wanted to pick for them overall. I went with just one of the Sand Snakes who and I don't want to say
Obara.
the wrong one. Yeah.
Oh no. Nymeria.
It's
Nim
right?
was
No.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Nim. And so I picked Whip It by Devo because I mean, like, when you have the chance to pick Whip It by Devo, you do it.
Yes.
So that's what I did.
They're from a city like 150 miles from me.
Nice.
Or less.
Nice.
Or fewer.
Fewer.
Less.
Fewer.
Fewer.
Hashtag Stannis.
No, I think with miles you would use less.
No, but it's fewer miles.
I think so.
Fewer than 150 miles from you.
Yeah, fewer than 150 miles from me.
Yeah.
They're from Akron.
Nice.
Okay.
Meth capital of the United States, by the way, if anybody's interested.
Bullshit.
Ooh, nice.
I think Jefferson County, Missouri has something to say about that one, which is like 20 minutes from me. Just saying.
Whatever, guys. I lived most of my childhood in Florida, so I win.
you are the walking Florida man.
Not quite, not me personally.
No,
but,
I
you know,
yeah, you've been, yes.
I haven't lived there in a long time.
Well, the one thing I always find,
it's still Florida.
Like, and here's the thing: everybody gives shit to Florida for being the weird arrests and all this. Thing is, Florida has the one rule about an arrest: when it's made, it has to be made public, like within like 24 to 48 hours. Like the full arrest has to be made. And so that's why all these national organizations pick up all these arrests from Florida, because it's not, this weird shit happens all over, but Florida has to put it out immediately and as quick as possible by state law. And so that's why it has the reputation of being so weird. It's, you know, so I learned that a while back, and it's an interesting kind of thought.
And it's a really big state that does attract people that are trying to escape from other places.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There is that, you know, they don't have state income tax. So people from up north like me tend to like to move there. Whatever.
Right. Yeah. No.
But anyways,
makes
so
sense.
yeah.
All right.
Everybody
so,
listen to Whip It.
We got Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves from Moni G in the chat here. Hey, Moni.
Nice.
Cocaine Mitch. Cocaine Mitch loves Florida. Yeah. I thought that was a song for a second, but Peter, but nope. Seeing if there's any other suggestions.
Peter being Peter.
Yeah. All right. So that does it for our sand snakes. Our next category, did we get sand snake? Yeah, we got fools from DA's, the Chain of Fools from DA. All right. Our next one is Ellaria Sand. Again, another character in the show. She was actually played well for what she was given. Book-wise, it's completely different. And
yeah, she's not like that at all.
Yeah, but I mean, for what she had in the show, it was played well. It was written badly. So,
hey,
all right,
you're sold.
I cannot remember my song that I picked for her. I think it was something funny. Oh yeah. I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry, because she kissed Marcella and she liked it. So,
and a bunch of ladies in that whorehouse.
Yeah, that too.
I hope she swapped her lipstick though.
Yeah. So I just again went kind of on the nose for that one. All right, Dog.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, this is one originally I kind of struggled with, and I was like, man, you know, 'cause this is just a character that another one that I could, usually I can just kind of skip through or just totally not even pay attention to, but I'll never forget that scream ever, right? So I think it's one of the most historic screams in television history, right? So. And I was just kind of thinking, and I was like, oh, yeah, Screaming for Vengeance. That makes absolute sense. Just the title made sense to me at first, right? And then after digging a little deeper and again, this is one of my top 10 albums of all time, Screaming for Vengeance. This is the title track from that, from that album, right? So normally I tell folks, like, if, like, say you've never heard heavy metal before, I would hand them this album and say, hey, this is heavy metal. And check it out. Maybe you'll like this, right? But when you really look at the lyrics a little bit, it actually kind of makes sense. Kind of like her issues with Doran going on, of course, and we're screaming for vengeance. The world is a manacled place. Screaming for vengeance. How's it going? The world is defiled in disgrace, right? So and then there's more lyrics about kind of the doom that's coming to Doran too. So I kind of and you get to hear Rob Halford screaming for vengeance too. So what a great song.
Yeah.
Dude, anything by Judas Priest, you gotta love.
Oh,
If you don't love anything but Judas Priest, you're just a sad human being.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, something happened here. So, all right. Exactly. And to your point, Dog, of anybody that, introduction to Judas, that's not fair. You can't introduce them to the best heavy metal up front. That's just, you got to build to Judas Priest. I agree. If you want to know if you like it, it's a good starting point, but you can't start with the best. I mean, Judas Priest is heavy metal, so it's one of those, like, I understand where you're coming from, and I don't want to say I disagree. It's just, it's a hard, like, I don't know. So, all right, John, what's your pick? Oh, and we should say, for Ellaria Sand, we did merge her with a different character from the books for our book readers. I went with Ellaria just because I felt more of that. We mixed her with Arianne Martell.
Mm-hmm.
So John and Sarah have Arianne Martell picks. So just keep that in mind. So
yeah, I picked Arianne. We've discussed this ad nauseum. I'm more of a book person than a show person. And Twist of Cain by frickin' Danzig. The Twist of Cain, the murdering of your father, the desire to murder your father, and this isn't even Oedipal. Freud couldn't diagnose this shit. This is just like weird, crazy, fucked up shit that you don't even take into consideration. Ben, I can drop all the spoilers I want, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, she doesn't kill him because he's like, hey, no, there's a plan.
Yeah.
Like, listen up. Like, all right, you're dumb and impulsive and young. Like, listen up. There's a plan. And that's why this is going on. While she's sitting here like, oh, I'm going to get my vengeance. I'm going to get angry. I think the song encapsulates that. Plus, #Danzig.
Nice. All right, Sarah.
Okay. So I think my Arianne one was the last one that I picked. And I was trying to find something that fit her plots. There is nothing I could find that was called the Queenmaker. So I was looking at just lots of different songs with princess in the title, and so many things that are about princesses are more apt to like Sansa book 1 instead of what Arianne was all about. So when I saw the Sonic Youth song Renegade Princess, I was like, this is great. Just the title alone. And Sonic Youth is awesome. So there you go.
Absolutely agree. All right, Chad, anybody got anything for Arianne or Ellaria? And DA had Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry for Ellaria.
Mm-hmm.
That I thought that was fitting for that one as well.
Yeah, except it's a Buck Cherry song. Like,
that's that I know you work in the bar and everything, but that's the white girl wasted. Every white girl wasted.
No, but I work in like a snazzy fucking posh ass bar.
Yeah, but if you got a white girl wasted
thing,
and if you had a jukebox there, that song would be played at around 12:30 by this is my song.
Oh, dude, we get wedding parties every Saturday night.
Yeah. So there you go.
I saw in the chat a little earlier up in the chat, Moni said she's a man eater, and I'm like, that works for me. That song.
Yeah.
And trying to see if I saw any other ones. I think it was just that one that I missed.
Okay. It says he went for the title of the track. He doesn't really know the song. Thank you. OTDA. I'm glad you aren't familiar with Buck Cherry.
OTDA. This is why I picked the one I picked. So do not worry. I'm not as familiar with Sonic Youth as I should be, but whatever.
Bubba Husky with Tree Hugger by Antsy Pants.
Sarah, I'm going to send you a playlist if that's okay.
Yeah, do it.
All right. So on to our next character. We got the one, the only, the lovely lady Olenna Tyrell, the Queen of Thorns herself. And again, oh, I know the one I went with, this one. And I say this with ever so much loving. This song is totally her. Bitch by Meredith Brooks. Because she calls it out. She's like, I'm a bitch. You know, I'm a bitch. I'm a mother. I'm a child. I'm a lover. That's, you know, I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. I can't remember.
I will not be ashamed.
Thank you. I knew you would be able to pull
I'm
it
your
You wanna be
something.
ashamed.
I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. There you go.
Exactly. So
The 90s are alive in our stream.
Actually, I think almost every one of my songs was from the 90s. Very close to it. I think Slipknot was the only 2000s one. Oh no, I did have the Aria Hotah one, but that's just me. I'm a 90s kid. So, but yeah, no, bitch by Meredith Brooks. It's just because she knows what she is and she, you know, owns it and she puts it to use. So, all right, Dawg.
All right, yeah, and boy, this one I think it was one of them that took me a little bit, but I think I got the I think this worked out for me. I was pretty happy with it because I was thinking of after all she's been through, by the end of it, all she could really say was, "Goddamn the pusher, man!" Right? So I think this is my favorite Steppenwolf song of all time. I think it might be one of their best one, maybe Magic Carpet Ride also, but. I think this might actually be the first song that was ever kind of banned from radio at first. I'd have to go back and check my mathematics on that, if you will, quote. Right?
I think it was Lola, honestly, Dawg.
Which one?
I'm pretty sure Lola came out before that.
Okay, that might have been it. Yeah, you might be right there. So,
and I know that was banned from radio.
I know they had some issues with this one. Actually, they had issues with Wooly Bully at one time too. Come to think of. I think that's popping in my head, but yeah. But anyway, this song, right? I mean, the beginning of it, right? It talks about, you know, hey, I smoked a lot of grass, popped a lot of pills, right? Right. It was kind of talking about how old she was, all the things she's seen, right? Don't think of it as just that particular thing, right? But then she was talking about how we might as well just kind of survive. I think there was some part of that in the show, right? But I was thinking of the lyric where she's seen a lot of people walking around with tombstones in their eyes and things of that nature, right? But by the end of it, she's been beaten, right? I mean, other than just having that one thing of, hey, I killed Joffrey, right? But her whole house is wiped out, and by the end of it, all she can really say is "Goddamn the pusher."
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So in the chat, we're getting a couple good ones. DA, I'll call his out. He has Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You." Whitney Houston, parentheses, not Dolly. "I Will Always Love You." And I asked for clarification.
I'm all about Dolly, sorry.
Yeah. I asked for clarification. And he's like, because I will always love Olenna. It's like completely fair. So, all right, I'll give him that one. We have Poison from The Prodigy from Owen. Definitely works. Terry T with The Bitch Is Back from Elton John. Seeing if there's anyone else. My Way. Oh yeah, Frank, definitely. I can see that one. Frank Sinatra, My Way.
I'm actually saving The Bitch Is Back for something else.
Fair. All right, so John, go ahead and go with yours.
Oh, Always a Woman to Me.
Nice.
By Billy Joel.
And I like the video you chose for it, John.
Yeah, I did the live one. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. Please speak. I'm cutting you off.
Oh no, I was just saying what you said, that I liked the particular video you chose was him performing it live back when he had hair.
When he had hair, and he was actually speaking directly at the moment about his ex-first wife.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 6, I want to say 6.
Yeah,
He's on number 6
I couldn't
now.
tell you.
He's getting up there to Larry King levels. So
one of my favorite moments, I got to see. I've seen Billy Joel live 3 times. Once was with Elton John, and twice was on his own. And it was right before he played what's the freaking track called? Dun, 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 dun. I can play it on the piano, I just can't think of the words. Dog, help me out, you're my age. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, don't go
dun,
changing to try and please me.
just the way you are.
Yeah.
Okay, so right
Good
before he
song.
plays it, he says, I don't want to play this song,
Just the way you are.
but I know you want to hear it.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, this is a song about my first wife.
Nice.
Like, and that's what he said live at the show, which I thought was hilarious and awesome.
One thing I'll give to Billy Joel a story I've heard is every show of his, he buys out like 12 or 15 seats at the front row and goes to people in the very back row of the concert and says, hey, you've been upgraded. Like basically sends people out to the very back row, tells them you've been upgraded. And because he wants people, because the people sitting in the back there are the ones that can't afford it or, probably can't afford it, but he wants to make sure they're the ones that deserve it. So he'll like buy out an entire front section and move people up for free.
No, there are artists who are just bamfs like that.
Yeah.
Billy Joel, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Kid Rock, I know a lot of people don't care for his music, but he's a really awesome person to even just random people, let alone his fans. Like, there are a lot of artists who do stuff like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, for me, this song totally defines, at least the way I feel about Olenna. I mean, she is the head of my family.
Yeah. So we got a couple more. We got a couple more suggestions in the chat really quick. We got "Merry Go Round" by Casey Musgraves, or "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" by Shania Twain from Sam. Nice. Emoji G added in "Would I Lie to You" or "Respect." Those were her first choices for Olenna, which definitely fitting as well. So Sarah, you got the last one on Olenna.
So I chose "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster" by the Ghetto Boys because like it's perfect. I think I've used the word perfect several times this stream. I'm sorry that I can't think of other words.
We should make a drinking game out of that.
But it was just like it's so good. And the video I chose was not the music video for it. But it is reminding people that it is from the awesome movie Office Space.
Yes.
But it's just like I don't know. Just like that title makes me think Olenna. Because she is, and a moment ago, John was talking about somebody else being a BAMF, but the slides that I had prepared for tonight's stream that I didn't get to Ben in time, I put on Olenna's title page, like, that she's the Queen of Thorns, she's the matriarch of the Tyrells, and I put like an overall general BAMF. Like she is.
Olenna is the ultimate BAMF.
Yeah.
Dude, she's the head of my family. Like, I'm like a prettier, nicer, and more socially acceptable Mace Tyrell.
All right, so we're getting from LMR or from DA. He says, "Sarah, you won this round," which agreed.
Just a couple people getting nostalgic with my pick, I guess.
And so we have one more character for our list tonight. We have the Bannerman for House Tyrell, Randyll fucking Tarly. Now, Tarly, he's an asshole, but he's loyal. He tries to be as loyal as he tries.
He's loyal when it's convenient.
He's trying real hard in the show. Yeah,
it's like the North remembers when it's convenient.
No, I mean, he literally, the only reason he went to Olenna in the show, or went to Cersei in the show, is because Olenna went to Dany. And so he's like, wait, no, I pledged to you and I pledged to the crown. You're going against the crown. And so he's trying to stay loyal. And then once given the choice so I give him credit. He's trying to be loyal. He's not a good guy. He's not a good person.
I've never thought of it from that perspective.
But yeah, I mean, he's trying. He makes it. He makes a pledge, and he sticks with it. It's not his fault. The person he's supposed to be following went somewhere a different way. You know, he holds true to his code, his honor
of the week.
To a point, but I mean, not really. He holds true to what he feels is the best. And he was also the only person to beat Robert Baratheon in battle. So, but my pick for him, Burn Baby Burn by Ash. It's basically just for the title. I kind of, it was hard to pick for him. Like I couldn't think of something. And so I kind of went for titles and saw that one. I'm like, that's fitting. That works. So it's a pretty good song. I checked it out. It's a pretty good song. So, all right, Dawg.
All right, and I went with "Oh Well" Part 1 by Fleetwood Mac here for Randyll Tarley. And at first, and Fleetwood Mac is one of my favorite bands of all time, of course. And actually, my little music intro for my video sometimes it's actually inspired by the song. They kind of there's similar. They're kind of similar. The way the riff is a little bit. So, but anyway, when I first was using the song, right, when I looked at the lyrics, it was basically me saying that to Randyll Tarley because I really could care less about this dude, and I probably wouldn't have anything nice to say if I saw him on the street, right? But but when I looked at it, I was like, wow, this totally works for Randyll Tarley too. Like kind of talking to Danny also, right? Can't help about the shape I'm in. I can't sing. I ain't pretty, and my legs are thin. Don't ask me what I think of you. I might not give the answer that you want me to, right? I mean, just absolutely fantastic song. One of my favorites. So that's what I went with.
Sorry. Yeah. No. Nice. I do enjoy that song, and it is fitting. DA apparently was trying to type his suggestion in the chat, but it would not let him. I don't know why, because he's trying to put from Cat McSnatch, "You are a cunt." So I don't know why it's not letting you, but yeah, no, that's a good call out on that.
I'm just pointing out I'm not the one who said that word on the stream.
And I don't care. You know,
I get called out for it all the time.
Not on my streams.
No, not yours. But
I know.
On the ones I'm always on.
I know.
I get yelled at. So I'm not the one who said that word.
All right, John. So go ahead. Oh, what's up, Sarah? Sorry.
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
No, you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to pay attention to the chat so I can shout out some people's picks in a moment. Go ahead.
Gotcha. All right, John, go ahead.
So I went with Mr. Macho Man by the Lords of Acid. Because I got to throw some electronic music in here somewhere. I mean, I'm John St. Baptiste. It's what I do. But no, I think it really works when you're describing me. When you're describing Mr. Tarley, because he thinks he's such a badass, but he's really not.
Yeah.
You gave me the perspective like you were just talking about his loyalty. I've always thought of him as disloyal. I've always thought of him as picking the winning side.
But he didn't pick the winning side either time. He was a Targaryen loyalist, and then now he's getting set aflame by Daenerys.
Picking what he thought would be the winning side.
No, and that's the thing. He stuck, and I don't agree with that. I think he saw the writing on the wall where the Targaryens are going to lose, but he still stuck with the Targaryens at the time. Then bent the knee at the end, and then with Dany, he's like, I made my promise. I'm going to stick.
Dude, I can understand. He's like 20 years older than me, and it hurts me to bend my knees. So,
true. So before we get to yours, Sarah, really quick, got a couple in the chat that are coming out that are some really.
And by the way, if anybody can get the original artwork for this track, it's worth looking at. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
So we got Bubba Husky with "Dirty Old Egg Sucking Dog" by Johnny Cash. I like that. Moni G with "One Tin Soldier." I like that. Owen with "Father and Son" by Cat Stevens. Dick and Nut Sam. Mona G, another one with "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." That one, that one got me. I liked that one. That was good. Cast of the Cradle, maybe I could see that, Moni. Let's see. Am I missing anybody else's? I think that's all the ones from the chat. So, all right, Sarah, you finish us off here.
Okay, so I picked another classical piece. Dmitri Shostakovich's 10th Symphony, Movement 2. It's very like militaristic. There's just a crap load of snare drum. And it's so good. Like, it's just like, it's so good. Everybody should listen to it. And I know I said that about a lot of things. But it just, I don't know. I wasn't sure what I wanted to focus on with Randyll Tarley because, you know, he's general dick face, but like, you know, I didn't want to do like detachable penis or anything like that. Even though he kind of looks like one in the show. But, you know, and any excuse to make people listen to this particular piece of music is good. So, but I think it's really fitting with the fact that he's very much, you know, a lot of his pride comes from being this successful warrior and being the only one to, you know, beat Robert. And, you know, but I was thinking while we were discussing, I'm like, oh, if, you know, I know we've talked a lot about stuff from our youth, songs from the 90s and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, maybe should have chosen like Father of Mine by Everclear.
Right. Yeah, I actually strongly thought about that one, too.
I was trying to think of, you know, songs about fathers. And I'm like, well, there's that one, obviously. But, but I'm glad I got another classic in there because, again, this piece is fucking great. So
exactly. I do have to say, if you didn't see Everclear back in the 90s, don't see them now.
Yeah,
it's very disappointing.
I can imagine. Age catches up with everyone. So sometimes
I saw them open for Soul Asylum, and Soul Asylum still kicks ass.
Again, I was about to say, age it hits different people different ways.
It depends on the group.
Yeah.
Dave Pirner doesn't know how to do anything but tour, so I think that's part of it. But
So all right, chat. So we are kind of wrapping up here. We do have one more song that we kind of all agreed upon for the overall. But first, before we get to that, I want to ask the chat if they figured out why we picked the order we did. And I will go back through really quick of the order we went through. We had Oberyn, Areo, Hotah, Doran, Loras, Mace, Margaery, the Sand Snakes, Ellaria, Olenna, and Randyll Tarley. So any ideas why we decided to go that route? Think about it for a few seconds.
I don't recall, but I just want to say Shostakovich is amazing.
Shostakovich? No, he's awesome.
I can't pronounce it or spell it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Listen to.
I had some Russian classmates that were like, no, Shostakovich. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's the best. And he like made this amazing music in freaking Soviet Russia. So it wasn't quite like on par. Like it wasn't the same sort of genre as the rest of the 20th century classical world at the time because of, you know, the government didn't want him to seem like he wasn't going outside the lines or anything. But he made amazing music. His string quartets also highly recommend. And well, anything by Shostakovich is awesome.
Exactly. And since I can't type this guy's name, LMR, yes, you always have to go Lionel Richie and go all night long. I can't. I literally have sat here for the last like 10 seconds trying to type Lionel Richie, and I can't think of how to spell it, so I'm not going to try. And DA did, and DA, that's not fair. You think you had the list before everybody else, but you're correct. It is the deaths in show in order. So all these characters minus Arianne, because she was the add-in for the book readers, they all died in that order. It was Oberyn, Areo, Hotah, Doran, Loras, Mace, Margaery. They all died at the same time. Sand Snakes pretty much all died. 2 of them died at the same time, and then the third one died. Then Ellaria, we assume she's dead, sitting in the dungeons. Olenna poisoned, and Randyll is burnt alive. So good looking
Who
out,
was
DA.
everyone's top pick for the track for that character? Can the chat throw that out? Like very, very, very top pick.
For any character or
like period.
Ours or the chat?
The chat.
Chat. So yeah,
Okay.
chat.
Period.
Let us know who had the best pick of any of them. Yeah, of the night. And while you're doing that, because DA, you're correct, they all died in the show in order. The song we went with was "They're All Dead" by Horrible Earth. It was.
I randomly found this song. I had no idea who they were, but I just tried to find a song that was called "They're All Dead."
Yeah, and it's only like a minute long, and it's funny. It's a good song. It's
Speaking of only a minute long,
yeah.
I by Johnny Be Crazy's request, I guess we're going to do all the channel drops right now.
Yeah, we're.
I did a list of my favorite punk songs.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my channel drop for today.
Nice.
And it's got both 7 Seconds and The Clash on there. So
there you go.
There are two bands that I think are less than 2 minutes. And Ben, you should check that out because I know how much you love some punk rock.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely will.
And there's nothing at post 1985.
Okay. See, I'm a fan of the '90s punk stuff.
I know you are,
but I can appreciate the old school. So
you got to know where your roots come from.
I understand, and I will definitely check it out. So, all right, John, I will start with you on what you got coming up this week, or over the next couple days.
Tomorrow on my channel, I will be doing my first actual live stream. Amy True and I are going to be discussing season 2, episode 1 of American Gods.
Okay.
Nice.
Is anybody? Are any of you watching American Gods?
I have not. I'm going to be getting in. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a try because it's on Netflix, right?
No,
No. Well, I know season 1's
on Stars.
Yeah, it's on Stars.
But I think season 1's on Netflix, isn't it?
Oh, okay. If it is, I'll check it out.
If you read it, what's really cool is that I'll give it out for anybody who's read it. The show diverges from the books, but Neil Gaiman, the writer of the books, is also the script producer for the show. So he has final say on everything. And all the changes that are being made. And we're talking about a book that was written almost 20 years ago. He has the final say. So I think it's being very well done. And if you're a visual freak, you're going to love it anyway. Just because. But, yeah, season 2, episode 1. Amy True and I will be talking about that tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern, which I know is an inconvenient time for most Americans, but Amy is in the UK.
Oh, yeah. No, and you'll find that there's
she wakes up in the middle of the night to do Cylon Johns.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask her to do it for something else.
Yeah, no, there's always a good daytime crowd too, even of Americans. Like that's not a bad time. 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern. That's pretty good, decent time. People might be getting home before dinner time or something. I think it's a good time slot.
But I have to say, even if you have not read the books, amazing show.
Okay.
In fact, honestly, if you've just done the show, I would say don't read the book until the series ends, which is probably going to be like in 4 years.
That's fair. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. It's
because the one will ruin you for the other.
I gotcha. No, that makes sense.
But I love the fact that the writer of the book is the writer of the show.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, all right, Dawg, we'll go to you next. What you got coming up? You got anything going with Milt this weekend? And
This Sunday, that's the main thing that's happening on my channel. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'll have special guest Al, Red Sox fan, and we'll be going over my favorite film of all time, 1959's Ben-Hur, starring
Nice.
Charlton Heston. And we're definitely looking forward to that stream this Sunday. I've been getting into kind of doing some music videos with Tool and things of that nature.
yeah, I saw the one from today. That was really cool.
Got me doing different things now. So if you want to check out my new video I uploaded today, check it out. I did like a little film montage with a really cool Tool song. And
did you just say Ben-Hur is your favorite movie of all time?
yes.
Have you ever read it?
No, I've never read Ben-Hur.
May I show you something?
I didn't know. I would have to check it out though.
Yeah.
But that's the main thing that's happening. I'll later this week I'll also probably do a box office update and something
Nice.
before Sunday anyway.
Nice. And you
This is
Beetlejuiced
the
them because Al Red Sox fan just
third
popped in the chat.
pressing-
Hey, Al. How you doing, bud?
Oh wow.
This is
Let me,
the third
click
pressing
on
from
here.
1894.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It actually has, from the play, all the original Duraga tapes.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Nice. That's cool.
Oh wow.
If somebody finds me a good enough charity, I'll start a GoFundMe.
Nice.
Thanks for definitely sharing that, John. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but
But
that's
yeah, no, you just totally caught me while I was drunk. But I'll do it. I said I would, so I will.
All right. So, you got anything else, Dawg? Are you still doing the daily this day in dog history?
what we're gonna do. Well, what happened was I was spending so much time working on those videos and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I think I might do a weekly segment right now. So that's
Okay.
kind of, it's still a project right now, just kind of on hiatus right now. So
Completely fair. Didn't mean to call you out on anything. I'll just I enjoyed watching them, so that's why I was just asking. So, all right, Sarah, you got anything in the works or coming up? Where can people find you?
No. I just did this because it's fun. I don't have a personal channel that I utilize for anything at the moment. You guys can find me in the Facebook group. If you're not friends with me, you can add me, Sarah KUZ. And then, I don't go on that often, but if you want to add me on Twitter, I'm under Sarah Isn't Funny, just all one word without the apostrophe. It's mostly like random retweets of comedians, like when I just go in and, Twitter myself out for about 20 minutes every few weeks.
I'm not much on the Twitter side too much, so I understand how that is. But no, awesome, and I'll tell you, you're definitely going to be asked back for
okay, good.
with us.
thank you so much, Sarah.
Yes,
You
thank you.
Back.
You actually did help us out a huge amount with this. Like I said, kicking us in the ass to actually stay on top of it and all the
I'll
work.
get
you put
my
in the
steel-toed
playlist.
boots ready.
Speaking of ass
So-
back, we have a number of options for the next episode.
We do.
I think Sarah, we should ask back for the
Ooh, some of these
Second?
images of me are terrible. Sorry.
What's that?
Just got distracted by myself on the actual chat, like the stream feed rather than on the Hangouts feed.
Oh.
Like it's just like this terrible shot of me just like, ooh, I'm like, maybe I'll get my laptop for any future
Oh, I will
appearances.
tell you, some of the
We'll see.
funniest ones in the world are from Mackenzie L. Burns' episode club. Like at the end, like the thumbnail that just gets picked, it's always me going. like quite literally just
It has to be.
yeah,
Right?
and it just picks it right at the right moment. It's like, damn it. All right. So no, but yeah, John, what you were saying, we do have a couple options of our next categories. We have the wall.
Sarah, we have to invite somebody else next week.
Yeah, of course.
Well, next episode, yes.
But
yeah.
I would like to have Sarah back as a repeating guest if you have time.
Hopefully, I'll be able to do it. I mean,
2 episodes from now, with your awesome fucking blue whale picture.
Oh yeah, it is a great little poster. I like it. So maybe next time I'll put the manatee one behind me as well, and I can go.
I have an awesome turtle, but I can't make her move. Like I have a 100-gallon tank that I can't.
We did get your cat like very briefly at the beginning of the stream. So
yeah. So all right. So really quick to chat really. So next episode we have the wall. We have Essos, kind of encumbering that. Riverlands. We're just kind of leave it at that. So of those three, who would you guys like to see us kind of cover?
Please say Essos. I just want to get it out of the fucking
way. And while they're doing that, I'll kind of go with everything I got coming up really quick. You know me from Drinks and Nose. I believe we should be streaming Saturday night. It might be a late night one, like 10 o'clock Central. So maybe pretty late.
Yeah, Ben, that's why I always miss your shit. Because you do it while I'm at work.
Hey, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I know. I was gonna say some of us work normal hours. You know that
it's best for your channel.
Yeah. So
it's just worse for me because like I get home and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a beer and I'm gonna watch some Ancient Aliens.
Right. So yeah. So recovering. Recovering season 7, episode 6, Beyond the Wall. It's that episode. Good episode. I already got the notes all done for it. But make sure you check that out. Check out my stuff on thepodcastthat.com. I have a couple of other podcasts over there. Big shout out. Oh, and also this Friday night, I am hosting Citadel Trivia with Felicia and special guest again, Chrissy of Old Stones. She is
and Chrissy already gave us the link for it and everything.
Awesome. Yes. Yes. I just saw that. That's actually what reminded me of that I'm doing trivia on Friday. Hopefully I can figure out my OBS problems to actually make that work, or we're going to have to figure something else out. So with that said, looks like I'm seeing Essos. Looks like we're doing Essos. So we got 3 quick.
Let's just get it out of the fucking way.
Get it done. And it's a big continent. We have a lot of people we can pick from. So we will.
I want to see your Illyrio picks.
Do you want to do this?
We'll talk after stream on when this will all go down. It'll be at least 2 weeks. Just saying.
Right.
It'll be at least 2 weeks, if not a little longer. But gives us some time to get everything set up. And maybe on my channel again, might be on Dawg's, might be on John's. Hey, if John gets his live stream going well and gets comfortable with it, then we may do it on your channel. We'll kind of figure it out from there. But with that said, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're sitting right about 2 hours now, that after the 20-minute debacle of getting this thing going. So I want to thank you guys in the panel, John, Sarah, Dawg. Thank you guys for being here. You guys made this a ton of fun. I actually didn't think I was going to make it tonight. I had a birthday party and stuff, and you guys were like, we still need somebody here. And it's like,
hey, I was very well behaved. I said I would not do the birthday stream thing that I did for Johnny.
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. It wasn't my birthday. It was
right. But no, your 9-year-old fucking niece, I'm not going to take off my clothes.
Right. So really quick, John, Dawg, Sarah, help me out here. I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. So we're going to scroll through. If I miss somebody's name, let me know. DA with the awesome list that he threw out. LMR, Sam, Owl Red Sox fan, Moni G, Terry T, JD, Chrissy Goldstone's the link bringer, Sarah yourself, Bubba Husky, JD, Dawg Show again. There you are. Catherine Harding, the lady Olenna Tyrell. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? I know
Catherine Harding.
Harry T. Owen Fleming.
We have
Nancy dropped
someone I
in for a
haven't
minute.
seen before. We have Sam. We have who else did I see? Peter.
Peter Griffin. Yeah. Bubba Husky.
Yeah.
Sir,
Just trying to scroll.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, but we think it's always awesome, guys. I mean, that's the thing. My channel,
But I have to give a specific shout out. Nancy, the bringer of blankets, dropped in.
Oh yeah, I've seen her creations. They're so beautiful.
Well, you saw one last night because I got mine yesterday.
I see one every fucking night because I go to bed with it.
Yeah, I got mine yesterday. I actually had it as my backdrop until it fell. But she actually hooked up our entire show with them too. Like everyone in our show.
Yeah,
it was awesome. I was not expecting it. She messaged me, and the cool part was she's like, "You're local." She lives maybe 30 miles away, so she actually drove over to my town or drove over to me and dropped them off in person. So I was actually able to give her a hug for it, and it was very cool.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So it was,
by the way,
it made my day.
In the cabin with your family for Ice and FireCon.
What's that?
You're stuck in the cabin with your family.
And you say stuck, I say they got to deal with my drunk ass. So I say
they're
stuck
I
with
was
me.
Just gonna say, like, I had no option but to pick the luxury loft. So if you want a queen size bed in your own personal room,
I may be crashing over. Just
like John.
Yeah. So all right, guys, but I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you again, chat. You've been awesome, and just keep an eye out on the Facebook, the Geek Check. That's where we'll post most of this to let everybody know where we're gonna be going. But until next time, stay awesome.
Yeah. Good night, guys.
Be excellent to one another and party on.